You know, the hunt for that next big crypto gem. It's what keeps investors up at night, right? But what if the next 100x coin isn't some expensive, high-priced asset? What if it's something trading for less than $1 right now? Well, that is the $1 question we're digging into today.
And that question right there is what drives this whole thing. Could there really be projects trading for what's basically pocket change that are just coiled up and ready for a massive breakout? I mean, it's the kind of thought that makes you stop and wonder what you might be missing out on.
And look, the source material puts it pretty bluntly. The window of opportunity on these things, it could be closing. And that feeling of urgency, it's a powerful motivator for sure. But it also means we have to approach this with a really clear head and not just get swept up in the hype.
Okay, so with all that said, let's get into the good stuff. We're going to break down 3 specific contenders that the source highlights, all of them with that accessible low entry point we've been talking about. So the source points to 3 very different projects. You've got Cardano, which is kind of like the methodical academic of the group. Then there's Polygon, the indispensable helper to the biggest player in the game. And finally, VeChain, the real-world problem solver. Each one has a totally different story, so let's dig into what makes them stand out.
All right, first up, Cardano.
Cardano, or ADA, is all about playing the long game. See, instead of chasing the latest hype, its entire foundation is built on peer-reviewed academic research, which is actually pretty unique in this space. The big takeaway here is that its potential isn't just a guess. It's directly tied to how many people actually start using its super solid technology in the future.
Next up, let's take a look at Polygon.
Now, Polygon, also known as MATIC, here's the thing. Unlike some projects that are based on distant promises, Polygon's value is all about what it's doing right now. It's a critical solution that helps the massive Ethereum network get bigger, faster, and cheaper. And when the source says it's used by major projects, we're talking about huge global brands like Starbucks and Disney. They've built stuff on its tech. That is a massive vote of confidence.
And last but not least, VeChain.
Our third contender, VeChain, or VET, carves out a really different niche for itself. It focuses completely on the physical world, trying to solve actual business problems. So imagine this, you're tracking luxury goods to make sure they're not knockoffs, or you're monitoring food from the farm all the way to the grocery shelf. That's what VeChain does for big partners like Walmart China and BMW. Its growth is tied to solving real problems for real businesses.
Okay, we've seen the opportunities, we've seen the potential upside, but now it is time for a crucial reality check. This is the part you absolutely have to hear. It's so tempting to see a sub $1 price and think you've struck gold, but believe me, it is rarely that simple.
This is probably the most important distinction you need to make. There is a huge difference between something being low-priced and something being cheap. A low price can be an awesome entry point into a solid project. Cheap, on the other hand, well, that usually means the price is low for a very good reason. Maybe the tech is junk, maybe no one's using it, or maybe the project is just dead in the water.
And that leads us straight to the single most important piece of advice in this whole explainer. Some coins are priced low because they aren't valuable. That's why your number one tool, more important than any hot tip or recommendation, is your own research. You have to be the one to roll up your sleeves and figure out if the potential is actually real. So, knowing the risks, what's a smart way to even approach this? Because it's not about gambling, right? It's about having a clear, long-term strategy in place.
The source lays out a really simple but powerful 3-step framework. So, rule number 1, never ever go all in on one project. It's just way too risky. Step 2, diversify. Spreading your investment across a few solid projects you really believe in helps manage that risk. And finally, number 3, think long-term. The real potential in these projects often takes years, not weeks, to play out.
So where does that leave us? We've looked at 3 promising contenders: Cardano, Polygon, and VeChain. We've also talked about the huge reality check and a smart strategy. The final question isn't, which one should I buy? The real question is, which one of these, if any, actually holds up when you put it through your own research? That's the real work, and honestly, that's the real challenge.